Hello, children. Today we're going to learn a prose from your 10th standard English. This is called His First Flight. His First Flight was written by Liam O'Flaherty. Liam O'Flaherty. He was an Irish novelist. He was a short story writer. He was a founding member of the Communist Party of Ireland. He was a native Irish speaker. He wrote exclusively in English. So this story is about a young seagull which is afraid to fly, and you will learn how it overcomes his fear and starts flying. The seagull is a bird that lives near the coastal areas, that is the sea. So follow the lesson carefully. A young seagull was alone on his ledge. A ledge is a narrow shelf or a narrow piece of rock that juts out of a mountain. And just below the ledge, there was the deep sea. He has two brothers and a sister who had already flown away from the nest. He too wanted to fly with them. And so he flapped his wings. But when he reached the brink means the edge of the rock, he was afraid, and he ran back to the little hole which was his nest. His brothers and sisters, who had shorter wings than his, flapped their wings and flew away. His father and mother scolded and threatened him that they would leave him to starve and die. He was afraid and sat there watching his parents teaching his brothers and sisters how to fly perfectly and also to skim through the waves and dive for fish. He saw his older brother catch his first herring. A herring is a long silver fish, and devour it, that is, eat eagerly. His parents were so happy that they cackled proudly. Cackled is a sharp noise that these seagulls make. The whole family were laughing at his cowardice. Cowardice means lack of courage. The young seagull was very hungry, so he had to gnaw the dry pieces of eggshells. These eggshells were the eggs which hatched, and they were lying on the ledge. So sometimes when he ate those eggshells, he felt that he was eating a part of himself. He wanted to reach his parents, but there was a deep, wide sea beneath. He tried. He even tried to walk across, but this never led him to the other side to his parents. He stood on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing. He closed one eye and pretended to be falling asleep. His family took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and sister lying and dozing. His father was preening his feathers. Preening means cleaning. Only his mother was looking at him. His mother was standing on a little hump with her white breast forward. Now and again she tore a fish that lay at her feet. The seagull was very hungry. The sight of food made him mad. He uttered a low cackle, and his mother cackled too. He wanted his mother to bring some food. After a minute, he uttered a joyful scream when he saw his mother fly across him with a fish in her beak. But before he could reach it, she flew opposite to him and halted the piece of fish in her beak. He was surprised and wondered why she never came closer to him. He was maddened by hunger and he just dived to get the fish. But what happened was he fell outwards and downwards into space with a loud scream. He was terrified and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing. He felt his wings spread. He could feel the wind and the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling. He was no longer afraid. He flapped his wings and soared upwards. His mother swooped past him. His father flew over him, screaming. He saw his two brothers and sister flying around him, soaring and diving. He was near the sea now. His parents and his brothers and sister were beckoning to him. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea, but his legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, but he was too weak, tired, and hungry, so he couldn't do that. His feet sank into the sea, and his belly touched it, and he sank no farther. He was floating on it. Around him, his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish. He made his first flight. Life is a challenge. We should learn to face it with courage and self-confidence. We should learn to overcome fears, just like the young seagull, and move forward. Hope you all enjoyed the lesson. Thank you, children.